Following Wednesday's win over Quinnipiac, the baseball team looks to keep their momentum rolling against Harvard this weekend. Head coach Joe Sotolano says his team is continuing to improve.
You can always get better, and when you think you've reached your goal, you set new goals. So I don't think you're ever going to be satisfied where you're at. I think we've played the game fairly well to this point, but there are a lot of things that we could fine-tune. I think we could be more disciplined in some of our base running. I think we could be more consistent offensively. I think from the mound we've shown some great spurts and great starts, but at the ability to be consistent coming in out of the bullpen, locating pitches, working down in the zone, those types of things. So we're fighting for consistency overall in our entire game.
After splitting a doubleheader with Fairleigh Dickinson on Tuesday, the softball team gets right back at it with the Penn Spring Invitational. Head coach Michelle DiPolo says her squad got some great work during their spring break trip to Florida.
It's good because you face a lot of different pitching, so you have to learn how to make your adjustments mid-game or between games, or also just come off a big win or a heartbreaking loss and bounce back, and you have 15 minutes till you have to go ahead and play another game that's right on your schedule. So a lot of the intangibles are what we work on.
Both tennis teams will be at home this weekend, with the women's team up first, taking on Manhattan on Friday. Head coach Paul Peck says his team came back from spring break ready to go.
I think it was nice for them to get a little time off and get re-energized. We played a lot of matches up until spring break, so it was good for them to, because you get to that point in time where people start getting these overuse injuries, so it's kind of good for them to take a little time off. So, they've come back with a good attitude, and I think they're really excited about playing, and looking forward to the rest of the season.
The men's team will host a trio of squads when Binghamton, St. Bonaventure, and Yale travel to West Point. Head coach Jim Poling says the team's recent venture to Florida has helped with the transition to playing outside.
It's tough going from indoors to outdoors, so we worked a few days on overheads, lobs. The wind is a big deal outside, the sky's a big deal, just getting used to it. We had a great trip down there. We played a good match against UCF, who beat us, but then we played two other matches, one with Bethune-Cookman and one with Flagler, and we played, every guy got to play a match that counted. We tried a different format, and so we had scores like 7-5 and 9-3. It was exciting. So everybody contributed, everybody had to play under pressure, so it was a great trip.
Saturday afternoon, the lacrosse team looks to bounce back from 2 straight one-goal losses when they travel to Lafayette. Head coach Joe Albarisi says this isn't new territory for his Black Knights.
We got a lot of guys that have been down some rough roads and persevered. The last couple of years in this program has been some pretty high times, but they all were in high times. They had to overcome some things. So, I'm just counting on our senior leadership to draw down on those experiences and come out on top again.
Finishing up the weekend, the track and field teams will compete in their second outdoor meet of the season at the Virginia Swashbuckle. Head coach Troy Engel says the team had a successful training trip in Florida.
We got a lot of very good work done, and surprisingly in some cases at the end of a very hard week of work put together some very solid performances. Some marks that, I wouldn't even qualify by saying they were solid early season marks. They're just really solid marks. Some lifetime bests and some really good performances that bode well for the future. So we got out of it about everything we wanted to. The weather was fantastic. We were able to get a lot of really good work done on the track. We had some good activities around the week that kind of brought the team together off the track, and then to finish it off with a good competition was a good building block for us.
With this week's weekend preview, Rick Johnston, ITT Excellus Night Vision.